Welcome to 5 Minute Friday, everybody, where we share our best tips and tricks to help you get just a little bit better every week. This week, we're still continuing our quote series because it's easy. 5 Minute Friday. This week, we are continuing our quote series because it is easy. 5 Minute Friday. This week, we are continuing our freaking Eddie. What you got for us? I tried to do a fun little lead in there, and I could not say 5 Minute Friday to save my life.
You all right, man? You good?
I need more coffee. All right, I didn't bring coffee in here.
Yeah, you don't have your. Where's your coffee cup, man? What are you thinking?
Know. I'm sorry.
That's what we get for doing these in the morning. Got another quote for you.
Okay.
The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. Attributed to John F. Kennedy.
Okay. So what you're saying is I could have had coffee and that would have fixed everything, right? Just preemptively, I could have just had coffee and that would have fixed all of the errors that I just made in that intro, right?
I don't think that has anything to do with it, but what we're talking about here in all actuality is how, when you get downtime, let's create it this way. Okay. Yeah. So when you get downtime at work, which some people listening might be like,
what's downtime?
What is downtime?
Yeah, right.
I've not had that in my career.
Yeah.
When you get downtime at work, that's when you are preparing yourself for the uptime to come. Mm-hmm. So when you get that beat, when you get the moment, I know like Dad talked about as project manager, how there are kind of cycles that upcycle, downcycle.
Yeah.
So like buy out upcycles for a project manager, close out upcycles for a project manager. And a lot of times you're trying to ride that wave, but maybe in the middle of the project, like you're at cruising altitude, much like a plane. Like you're not taking off, you're not landing, but you're at cruising altitude. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the time to start getting ready for the landing. Like, it's coming.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a call for preparation, a call for kind of asking the question behind the question. Like there's so many analogies, whatever you want could go here, but it is to think ahead and don't get in the moment and all of a sudden realize, oh my gosh, my roof's leaking. I've got to go throw a patch up there, or probably less than that. I'm probably just going to throw a bucket under it. And deal with it and hope that it doesn't ruin anything. So rather than using the bucket method, hey, evaluate what you got, evaluate where things are at. Once you notice that something needs repair, repair it now. Repair it before it becomes an issue.
We all have like ebbs and flows in our day to day, right? And so, and I know this from detailing. We would have breakneck times, like where there was no breathing room to patch the roof. But then there were other times where not quite as bad. You get a chance to rest. We always made it a point to go back and fix like, hey, this thing wasn't working over here. Let's go ahead and repair that now. Let's go ahead. This standard was going awry on these jobs. How are we going to fix that?
Yep.
And use that time to get better, to refine the tools so that we were ready for that next wave. And so we were more efficient and we didn't have those roadblocks. And a lot of times what we do is we get that gap in work and we go, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you slack off.
And you slack off and you're not doing that extra work to make sure the next one goes smooth.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's really what we're talking about, right? Is when it's not raining, when the sun is shining, go up there and fix that flipping roof because the rain's going to come again.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Arizona, in which case there's probably no rain.
Well, this kind of presumes like the after action review is happening.
Yes.
There's a presumption of the fact that you are evaluating, you are inspecting, you are looking. And so, after we get done with a job, we're actually talking about standards, how to go.
Yeah.
What do we need to fix? And then you go to it and you fix it.
How was our communication on it?
Yeah.
Like what got lost?
What could we have done a little better?
Yeah.
How could we have gone about that? What decisions did we make that we wish we had made differently? And so it presumes that. And then you're applying those. I learned, kind of a while back that in detailing, maybe this is a shared experience, maybe this isn't, but December, I always seemed like everybody was trying to get things in before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And January would have some to bleed off from that effort, but then a lot of times like February would get kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Like things weren't cracking quite as much because people weren't in the general contracting world, in the design world, they weren't trying to release projects to get them going like in February. It just didn't happen as much maybe.
Yeah.
And so I would use that time for standards.
Yeah.
That would be like, I knew softwares were releasing their new version, and that was a great time to take a week or two and work on standards. So we do that as a team. Like we'd have a group effort of just working standards. And over the years, the standards got really good because of the mass of people working on them. And I know in having people come into the company that have technical experience elsewhere, there's been comment made of like, hey, y'all really kind of systematized this thing.
Refine.
Well, that was a lot of heads for a lot of time, patching the roof every time we saw a place that needed to be patched.
And there are two different ways to look at this. I think what we're referring to right now is more of like a postmortem. Like the job's already done. Let's patch things like after action review, what went wrong, what went good, let's fix. But there's another thing called a pre-mortem. Let's get in front of this. And I think that's a lot of times what February was dedicated to. It was like pre-mortem. What is going to go wrong? Yeah. Like what things do we know that have consistently gone wrong? Before this next job dies, let's go ahead and fix it.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's kind of a couple ways to look at it. But
what can I speed up?
Review.
What can I speed up?
Right. What am I doing a ton of? What clicks am I making here? How can I reduce my clicks is kind of the thing. Because honestly, it's quality of life too. If I can reduce clicks, holy cow. Make drawings go quicker. You're not having to sit in front of the computer quite as hardcore.
Yep.
Like that's a win, man. That's a big win.
Well, reduce. I mean, if you're doing anything physical, reducing the number of steps.
Yeah.
Reducing the number of times you got to move material.
Yeah.
Having things on hand. Like there's so many ways that you can systematize, and maybe the real hard. Like when you really kind of dig into this, and there'll be another one. We're going to do another one by Bishop Desmond Tutu. So it's a little foreshadowing, but that if you see a problem, which a lot of people in the construction industry are like, oh man, construction's so broke. Right. Okay, so you see the problem. All right, so before we arrive at this cataclysmic thing, let's start fixing the problem now.
Yeah.
Let's get proactive. Proactivity, learning from mistakes, evaluating where you're at. So just a little call,
It's a good
remember.
Word. That's a good word, brother. All right.
John F. Kennedy, it's not mine.
Go fix that roof, guys. And go build something awesome.